everyone, it's Holly with Flow by Holly. Today we're going to be working through a nice easeful flow, aiming for about 20 minutes, maybe something at the start of your day or the end of your day to just bring a little bit of strengthening and stretching into the body. So that being said, we're going to start today in a child's pose. So I want you to bring the knees wide to the edges of the mat. Let the chest relax down. And just let everything melt here, okay? So taking a moment to just ground yourself. Maybe to just let the day go and to not place any pressure on needing to think about anything in this class. Nowhere to be, nothing to suss out, nothing to do. You don't even need to talk or think, okay? I just want you to follow along and enjoy zoning out. Giving yourself something back here. From this child's pose, it starts to reach the fingertips forwards, finding a little bit of length under the arms, and then pressing down through the fingers. Okay, so really like we're trying to grasp to the front edge of our mat here, and then just letting that go. We're going to come up into a tabletop position to begin. Just releasing with a few juicy little beautiful cat-cows. You can never go wrong. Pushing down into the mat. Finding that angry cat position. That little rainbow arch. Sydney Harbour Bridge. And then as we exhale, I want you to bring the chest forward. Gaze goes high. And again, pushing the mat away. Exhale. Inhale, arching through the back, keeping that core switched on. Exhale, one more round like this. And then inhale. From here, guys, let's turn the right fingertips to face the right knees. And then just take a rock back and forward, releasing through the front of the arm. Those tight little forearms, which never really get a good stretch out, let's be honest. Turning your hands around to face the other way, so left hand this time, or the opposite one to what you just did, and then rocking back and forth again. Well done. Keeping that fingertips facing that way, let's bring the right hand round so both fingertips are facing the knees. And then I want you to do the same movement. Excellent. So really finding, you know, a little bit of difference in these stretches in the way that you move, and just noticing how it feels when you really move the body in a completely different way. But it's simple, right? It's simple stuff that we have access to at our desk or anywhere, so you can take this anywhere. Now turning the fingers back around to face the front of the mat now, we're going to start to roll the weight onto the tops of the hands, so opposite movement. Just take this one gently, one hand at a time, so not cranking through the wrist, but the top of the right hand is pressing into the mat, and just finding that length down the other side of the arm. Other side, so now my left hand, the top of the hand's pushing into the mat. I'm just taking gentle rocks here. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to sit back onto the toes. Okay, so we're just finding little, you know, little juicy movements, wrists, toes, heels, you know, like I said, that we wouldn't usually do. So tucking each 10 toe and sitting down. No worries if you're up here or if you need to be on a block. So know for some people that act of just sitting like this is actually really difficult. So come where you need to. If you need to be here, this is fine. So sitting down, just finding that comfortable sort of seated position. We're just going to rock through the shoulders here. So I want you to push the hands away, finding that nice arch through the shoulders once again. Back in our cat, but we're just in a different position. Inhale, bring the hands high, gaze goes up. And again, exhale, pushing through the shoulders. Inhale. One more, exhale. And then this time bringing the arms just wide. Okay, so cactusing the shoulders. I want you to think about maybe like a nice, like one of those, you know, water balloons, and I'm placing it between your shoulders and we're trying to burst the little water balloon here. Okay, so just squeeze, 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 squeeze as much as you can. And then let it go. Okay, just feel the warmth that you've created, taking a few little rolls through the shoulders here. Back, and then forwards. And then we're going to come to the neck. So bearing in mind the toes are sort of burning now, I do want you to stick with this if you can. Bring the neck over towards the left. And then take the left hand and just push that right shoulder down. So finding some length down the side of the neck here. Inhale and exhale. Other way, so neck comes over towards the right. Right hand pushes that left shoulder down. Love these little self-assists. You know, finding little ways to increase the stretch. And then just take some nice flowy circles, letting that all go side to side. And then coming back the other way. Final movement, I want you to stay with us through the toes, bringing the hands up to the sky. We're going to take some flicks of the wrist. Okay, so we're firing up through the wrist, warming things up. Flick, 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 flick. Keep going for 10. And again, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything go. Let's pitter-patter the toes out. Whew. Always feel that one. Okay, so just feeling how those little movements, the heat that it can build, the different areas that it makes you think about in the body. From here, let's sit back onto the feet. And then just lift the knees slightly off the mat if you can, rocking the weight back and forward. Releasing through the fronts of the ankles here. Beautiful job. From here, we're going to roll up and over to downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the toes. I'm really enjoying this first downward dog, okay? It's like that first sip of coffee. The sips that follow, they never really live up to that first one, do they? Okay, and it's kind of like the down dog. And that first one is so juicy and nice, so just swaying the hips out, maybe just taking a few exaggerated movements here, if that's what your body needs. And then we're going to bring the legs, feet to center. Let's start to tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat. Well done. From here, just grasping the elbows and taking a rock side to side. Letting everything dangle, let the head be heavy. Finding length down the backs of the hamstrings. If the knees need to bend a little, that's cool. And then from here, we're just going to roll through each vertebrae one by one, stacking on top of the other until we come to a standing position. Right away, let's bring the arms up above head. Find a little bind with the fingers, pushing the palms to the ceiling. Inhale. And then as we exhale, let's cactus the arms to the side. Expansive through the chest. Again, popping that little water balloon between the shoulder blades. And then finding the bind, reaching the fist down towards the ground. Chest is proud. Then let's take a forward fold. So bringing the fist up and over the back of the head. Well done. And then just bringing the fingertips down to the mat, taking a few circles with the wrists here before we get a little bit into some flow. Just to mellow things out for the day. So bringing the fingers down to the mat. I want you to step the left foot back and then drop the left knee. Inhale, arms go high, low lunge. Exhale, fingertips come to the mat, straightening through that right foot, bringing the weight over the right knee. And then coming forward again, so movements of lunge. Inhale, arms go high, nice little stretch through the hip flexors, but nothing crazy. And then diving back over that front knee. One more round like this, guys, just in your own time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. So bringing the front toes back to the front of the forehead in that direction. And then let's bring the hands to frame that front foot. Stepping back into a high plank. From here, I want you to drop the knees and then come all the way down to the mat, keeping the shoulders aligned, the elbows tucking in towards the body. And then just coming through a cobra. So squeezing those shoulder blades together again. Retraction of the shoulder blades. We spend a lot of our day slumped over a desk or on our phones. Let's be honest, we're all guilty. Okay, so can we think about retracting and opening that chest now. Inhale. Exhale, one more round. This time bringing the fingertips wide, oscillating cobra. Pushing up. Actually more of a striking cobra. Let's take that. I think we can press into it. Exhale. This time tucking the toes, moving through the knees or through a full plank, coming up into a downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Inhale, send to the right foot, left leg goes high to the ceiling. Stepping that foot forward, and this time dropping the right knee. Same thing, low lunge, arms come high above head. Finding the length down the side body, okay? So always thinking about coming up and out of the waist and grounding down through the knee, through the foot. And then exhale, hands come to the mat, straightening through that front left leg as much as you can. And again, low lunge, arms come high to the ceiling. Little stretch through the hip flexors. And then straightening that left leg. One more like this. Inhale. Shifting the weight back a little bit over the hips. Okay, so coming a little bit out of the lunge in these movements. And then finding that forward fold. Beautiful job. From here, let's step to the top of the mat. We're going to find that forward fold position. And then grasping the two-piece fingers around the big toe. And then just letting the arms go to the sides, the elbows point out. A lovely little stretch down the back of the body. Finding some length. Just letting the head maybe shake side to side, nodding yes. Okay, and shaking side. Well done. From here, we're going to step the left foot back. And then we're going to step the right foot back to a higher plank, moving through our chaturanga, meeting in a downward facing dog. Upward facing, downward facing. Start with the left foot centering. Right leg goes high to the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, stepping forward, warrior one. Beautiful. So let's just sink into this movement first. So the knife edge of the back foot is grounded, the front foot's facing forward. And then bring the gaze high, maybe finding that steeple grip position. All right, everything release, hands come to the mat, left hand to the mat, right arm is open, open twist. And then taking a few shoulder circles. So for one, looking back down the length of the arm for two, and for three. This time let's bring both hands inside of that right foot, and then bring the right foot out onto the blade edge. Dropping the knee if you need to here, okay? We're just going to move side to side, finding that lovely stretch. Lizard lunge. If it's in your practice to drop down, maybe onto the forearms or the elbows. Beautiful. Rocking side to side, staying as long as you need. And from here, pressing back up. Bring the hands back outside of that front foot, tucking the back toes, and then let's step back, high plank. From our high plank, taking a chaturanga, so moving through our flow. Always taking variations as you need, okay? So moving through any of these poses on the knees is absolutely fine. Diving into a child's pose when you just need a break. Again, you're better to listen to what you need in these moments than feeling like you just have to follow along and not enjoying it. Because what's the point in that, really? Centering through the right foot, left leg goes high this time. Three-legged dog. As we step forward, we're going to come to a warrior one. Bringing the hands up and over. And then just sinking low. We're not taking anything too seriously, okay? If you take it too seriously, sometimes it just becomes so unenjoyable. So finding the moments where you can just let it go, where you know you've had a busy day, or you're having a busy day, and you know this is enough. Not adding more stress on top. From here, take the gaze high. And just breathe. And then bringing the hands down to frame that front foot. Swiveling the back heel. And then opening up. Open twist. So right hand down, left arm to the ceiling. Can we just fire up a little bit through that back knee? So you're better to have it dropped if you're just kind of slumping into it. I'd rather you have the knee down and find that stability. And if it is lifted, thinking about drawing that kneecap high. And then taking our circles with the left arm for 3, for 2, and 1. This time both hands come inside of that left foot, moving the weight onto the blade edge, dropping the back knee, or keeping it up. Okay, again, taking what you need, just using me as a guide of where you can go, or where you want to go. Maybe coming down to the forearms. And then just swaying the weight in and out. And in and out. Good job. So coming back up, bringing that left hand back outside of the front left foot. And then let's just step back into a high plank position. And then dropping the knees. The knees come wide. Soles of the feet together, child's pose. Coming back to that breath. Okay. Trying to come a little bit out of your head though in those moments. From here, we're just going to sneak the feet forward and come to lie on our back. I'll just flip on over. Nothing fancy about that transition. And then just bring in the feet hip width distance apart. We're just going to go through a little round of bridge. You can take a little bind underneath if you'd like. So grasping the hands, maybe pushing the fist down into the mat. Expansive through the chest. The glutes are really engaged here. And then just letting that go. Well done. From here, let's just bring the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then just rock the knees one way and the other way. Hugging the knees back in towards the chest. Taking a tight little squeeze here into a little ball. And then we're just going to bring the right knee on top of the left. And play with trying to reach for the outer sides of the foot, so Gomukhasana. If that's a little bit much at the moment, just take the outsides of the shin and just pull them gently towards you, finding a little release through the hips. And then simply unraveling, dropping the feet down, taking those little windshield wipers again, in and out, in and out. And then bringing the opposite knee on top, same movement. Beautiful job. From here, we're going to end with a happy baby pose. So I want you to take the hands outside of the feet And just bring the base of the tailbone into the mat. Maybe starting to close the eyes down now. And just really allowing yourself to come into the soothing, relaxating part of this practice. Okay, so something, yeah, like a little time that is just yours. I really challenge you to stick with it, moving into our Shavasana. Bringing the legs long, letting the feet and the hips just flop open, palms come to face the ceiling, gazes down, letting the little fingers just curl up, and then dropping the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, and relaxing the space between the eyes, the forehead. We'll just take a deep inhale and exhale, Shavasana. Staying here as long as you have time for today. And just taking this, this kind of new perception, hopefully, that you've gained after such a nice little practice, into your day, into your evening, and just allowing yourself to slow it down, to take moments for yourself when you can, wherever you can. Coming up into a seated position, either rolling over to the left, just coming up through a seated posture. Let's all take a big deep inhale and exhale. Namaste. Thank you guys for a beautiful practice. Any class requests, as always, just shoot them through my way. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the mat next time. Have a beautiful day or night.